welcome everybody to Monday Night Racing with the Midwest Days of Thunder Xfinity Series, coming to you tonight from Auto Club Speedway out in California. This 2-mile, pretty flat oval always provides some really good racing action, and we're going to see some great drivers out there today taking the field, the Xfinity cars. We'll probably have 20-something drivers or so, but looks like we're going to get an advance on the session because I think they had to recreate the session, so we're going to skip to qualifying here in just a moment, so stick with us here. I'm Alan English, and joining me in the booth tonight is Gary Sack. How you doing, Gary?
I'm doing pretty good. Looking forward to Auto Club. This track is similar to Michigan, but it's different in its own way. It's more bumpy, and it's harder on the tires. I think we're going to get some good racing here tonight.
And down there on pit road, Adam Turner. How you doing, Adam?
Good, man. Midwest Days of Thunder at Xfinity Auto Club. Zero fast repairs, 70% fuel. Track is actually kind of cool, so I think we're looking for pretty good races. We're into the playoffs now.
Well, as Gary mentioned, a lot of similarities between this track and Michigan. And, Gary brings up a great point. This is an older surface. It's a little bit bumpier and a little bit more abrasive than the newer track surface out at Michigan. You're, a two-time winner out at Michigan. What do you see different here? Is it still kind of the same deal with, turn two kind of being a bear to get out of?
Yeah, a little bit. I don't think it's quite as difficult as Michigan. There's just a lot of wide. It looks super wide, but I think it narrows down. I don't think people like to run 5 different lanes here. I think people start choosing, where the preferred line is, and this track can eat your tires up too. So you got to take that into effect as you're putting those laps on. It is 2 miles. We got 100 of them, so I think we're going to see some cool stuff, and I think there'll be a little bit of team here. I think there's some good areas where you can get a little bit of draft help.
And what about that, Gary, as far as racing lines go? Do you think we'll see much 3-wide action out here tonight, or do you think it's pretty it's a pretty pretty direct line that they're going to have to run here?
I'm not entirely too sure. I think at the start of the runs we'll see a good bit of racing, but as we get around 5-10 laps into the run, you'll start to see a lot of guys start riding what we like to call that Kyle Larson line right around that wall. That's where it'll start to, I think, single file out and get some green flag laps in.
Yeah, the thing about that Larson line is, if you're committed to that, you really have to stay way up there, really, really close to the wall to make that work. I'm not sure. Let's check our track state. Moderate usage on the track. Marbles and dust left out on the track. So, yeah, they're going to have to contend with that a little bit here, at least towards the beginning, with wearing that upper groove in, if that's what they're going to want to do tonight. Let's see here. Said 100 laps, 200 miles. Yeah, this is always a fun track to watch. One of our other leagues that we do, we've seen them run flag to flag here. I mean, just it's the nature of it, Once they get kind of spread out a little bit, there's a lot of runoff area here. If we do have any cautions, that's when these guys are going to want to hit the pits. And kind of an interesting entry to pit road here. It's a pretty hard left coming out of turn 4.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting pit entry. It's a little bit harder to back it down, especially once you're in traffic at this track, but I think a lot of these guys are good drivers. They'll be able to back it down and get into pit road safely. And while we're coming to the end of qualifying here, why don't we look at our championship standings, as this is the first round of the playoffs.
regular season is over with. It's coming down to it now. We already have a couple ineligibles that will automatically be eliminated. But is it we race 2 races and the bottom 4 are eliminated? Is that correct?
I believe so. I believe that's how it works here.
Yeah, so who's going to test Davey Hendricks here? That's going to be the key. I think Francisco, he's running a really quick lap here today. So we'll see those two definitely out front during this points chase here for the championship.
Yeah, and Francisco needs a good finish here as well, because right now he's in the playoffs. He's not going to get cut out, but he's about 6 points behind Davey Hendricks on the first race as they're starting to grid up.
Well, after 2 laps of qualifying over the 5-minute qualifying period, Francisco looked like he edged out Hendricks there with his second lap. Not by much, but 0.07 of a second. But that's all he really needed to start on that inside line on the pole.
Yeah, well, Davey's right there, so we should see a good battle up front. I think we're going to see a good battle all the way around here.
Well, waiting for these guys to grid up behind the Chevy Silverado pace truck.
They're getting close here.
Yep, they're starting to filter in now. You want to go through our starting lineup here?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, starting on the pole tonight, Francisco Villarreal in the 24. Davey Hendricks to his outside in that 81. Row 2 is going to be Isaac Wilson on the inside and Joshua Grosso in the 23 to his outside. Row number 3 is going to be Eric Foreman in the 113. And Angry Idiot Tim Harmon in the 73 on the outside. Row 4 is going to be Michael Giberson in the 32. Beside his teammate Stephen Davis in the 85. Row number 5 is going to be Bob Gallinger in the 44 and Rob Nickel in the 88 on his outside.
All right, the 37 of Matthew Spires, 11th. 7 of Thomas Stanley, 12th. 69 of Michael Gervey in 13th position on the grid. Number 9 of Justin Barkley, Mr. Mac and Cheese, 14th. Looks like the 60 Alan Kewins, 15th. Red Stick Mike Simone in the 27 car will be 16th. As Matt Forn's going to race, he'll be 17th in the 10 car. 28 George McCone, I don't think he's eligible to race this race. Connor Dardanelle in 18th. Ethan Flanagan 19th. Greg Klein and Joe Archer, our Canadian friend, rounds that out. Man.
Several Canadians out there. We got Joe and Rob Nickel, Bob Gallinger. I think that's it. Yeah, Canada definitely represented here tonight. As these guys get their parade lap underway, let's talk a little bit about our sponsor here for the Xfinity Series. That's Joe's Design Shop. Check them out over on Facebook. That's Joe Archer, our buddy up in Hudson Bay, Saskatchewan. Brilliant graphic designer, does some great work. You can see his Chicken Man truck or car running around out there tonight. He also has an awesome chicken raising Facebook page and YouTube page. I think it's called Farmer Joe's Chickens, so go check them out for sure. There's always new information on there, and especially if you're one of those guys that's just getting into raising chickens and hatching them, selling eggs. He's got tips on everything, so definitely check that out as well.
Well, that seems like a lot of work.
It is. I haven't done it in many, many years, but I did it when I was a kid. So here we go. These guys coming around. Pace truck is down. Green flag is out, and here we go. Playoffs are now underway in the Midwest Days of Thunder Xfinity Series. And a great start for the 24 of Francisco Villarreal. He really gets the jump on the 81, who's starting that outside line. 23 of Grosso, solidly in third now. Side by side behind him, we've got Isaac Wilson and Eric Warman for fighting over fourth place right now. As they come down this long backstretch, still getting up to speed here, but I'm sure we'll see a little bit of draft affecting these cars as well. Once these guys kind of get up to speed. Go ahead.
Here's
sir.
where some of them are just you got 2 to 3 wide back here in 7th, 8th, 9th. Giberson looks like Gallagher. There's some good racing. That's where you can kind of figure out the line you want to be in. There's several different lines. This 37 just blows past the 85 car of Stephen Davis. So some good racing out here.
The 81 already trying to do a little cross-up maneuver, coming to the inside of Francisco Villarreal for first place. As he uses that bottom line, he kind of used that outer-inner crossover move coming out of the turn back there, coming out of turn 2. Able to make that pass on the backstretch, still side by side though as they come through the tri-oval.
Davey Hendrickson is still going to have that inside line coming in turns 1 and 2, but Francisco's going to get that run coming off that corner. He's going to hold off Davey Hendrickson as long as he can. And the longer these guys are side by side, Joshua Grosso back there in third, he's gaining on these two through the draft.
Yeah, and the harder that these front 2 guys are pushing those tires, battling for position already. Try not to use them tires up too much, boys. There's a long race ahead.
Yeah, there's a long way to go. I think some of the guys in the middle, back of the pack have just kind of decided, hey, let's not fight too quick here. Let's just kind of fall in line. Got kind of a lot of single file action at the moment. But that's probably the smart play this early on in the race.
Hendricks finally able to clear him. So now we're single file up front. First 4 positions. Thanks to our partners over on YouTube. The folks watching out there tonight, we sure appreciate you. Diggs is out there. So is Nickel Motorsports Race Team saying good luck, everyone. And Nicholas Joyner saying hello, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us, Nicholas.
Well,
Hope we can get some good racing action for you guys tonight.
Well, we got some right here. Greg Klein and the 92. Battling the 44 Rob Gallagher. Barkley's back there. Flanagan. I mean, there's some stuff happening here, kind of in the middle of the pack.
Dramatically different lines is what we were talking about earlier. Some guys running way up high, some using the far low line, as we see Flanagan and Klein doing that. Flanagan now finds a spot up in front of Red Stick Mike Simone in the 27. A little bit of changing up some lines.
Greg Klein, he's making up a few positions, already up 10 spots, 5 laps into the run. But he's killing them tires, though, the faster he's moving up. I have a feeling once we get into the run, if it gets a good green flag run, towards the end, he's going to be hurting on them tires and getting tight.
So I imagine everybody has their own pit strategy coming into this thing. And the teams do work on that quite a bit with each other. What are you kind of thinking as far as that goes, Adam? You just kind of try to conserve your tires and try to make a whole fuel run out of it, because there's no guarantee you're going to get a caution here.
I think you kind of have to see what the guys at the front are doing. And what I think they're going to do is they're going to get everything they can out of the tires and the fuel. So, but if you're really struggling here in the back and you need tires, you're just going to have to go get them. And it's going to hurt if we're under green.
A little bit of 3-wide action. Looks like it's about to happen up here with Gallagher. Who is that? Spires up top. And
They were
Rob
trying-
Nickel in the middle.
They were trying for 4 wide there for a minute.
Looked like it damn near happened, but it's like they get it sorted out. They're back to 2 wide again. But Spire's one of those guys, and that 37 machine was running way up by the wall. But apparently not committed to do it all the way around the track as they go through turn 2 here.
And
It came down about the middle of the track and then slid back up.
right now, Rob Dickel and Matthew Spires, they're right next to each other. And they're racing because right now it's looking like Matthew Spires, Rob Dickel, and Michael Gervey are all on the bubble to where there's a chance they could get knocked out of the round of 16 here until next week. So they're racing to try to make it into the playoffs and not get knocked out.
And Nickel Motorsports Race Team says, hey, can you guys highlight the ones in the playoffs on the positions today? And I think, Gary, you're already starting to kind of talk about that, and we're going to talk about it more and more as the race goes on and as this round goes on, as we're really, really thick and heavy here for about 10th place. There's a gaggle of cars down here. Spire's up scraping the wall a little bit in the trial.
Yeah, they're getting after right there. That's where all your racing's happening, right there with the Spires, Giberson, looks like Red Stick Mike Simone, Alan Kewins, and a couple others there. Rob Nickel being one of them.
This is also a product where the Cup guys, they're allowed to race down in the Xfinity Series during the playoffs. But Matt Forns, your Xfinity admin, he's asking that all the Cup drivers start in the back. That's where you'll start to see a lot of the exciting racing go on in the back of the pack for the first fuel run.
And I think that's a great compromise. You know, there was some discussion in the past week about Cup guys racing down and, you know, possibly some, you know, teams trying to help their Xfinity teammates in their Cup cars by maybe doing a little strategy, maybe, you know, trying to control some lanes out there. But, yeah, I think it's a pretty good compromise. The admin teams, you know, for all the series, really trying to make the racing fair and take into account, you know, driver opinions as well. But I think that's a pretty good call.
Ooh, and it looks like Francisco Villarreal and Davey Hendricks are side by side for the lead. Francisco's on the bomb. He's going to try to see if he can get clear of Davey Hendricks. Davey Hendricks has that run coming off the top lane.
Matty G, Matt Gusty joining us over on YouTube, saying good luck, Connor Darnell.
Oh, look at Villarreal, just barely clear.
He pulled a slide job on Davey.
I have a feeling these two will be going at it all night here.
You know, the guys rolling right there behind them, love to see that. The more they're side by side, the less real estate they're gonna leave between them and the third and fourth place cars that are right there.
Yeah, Grasso and Harmon are just kind of watching it all happen in front of them and probably hoping for a mistake.
Davey Hendricks was looking to the outside. Oh, he's going to try to pull the crossover on Francisco coming down the front stretch. And I believe he's going to try to see if he can get clear coming in turns 1 and 2. And he does. He's going to also try to see if he can pull a slider, but he kept it going.
Well, the 113 of Warman hit the wall pretty hard, and he's in 6th place. So that slowed him down quite a bit. Greg Klein should be gaining a little bit of momentum on him.
And with Eric Warman being second right now in the points for as far as playoff drivers go, he can afford to maybe make a mistake or two tonight, as long as he doesn't fall too far behind Hendricks, who is your playoff leader right now with 16 points. 1 point separating everybody right now because this is the first race of the playoffs with 3 wide action back here. Rob Nickel in between Flanagan and Kewins. Flanagan trying to get around the 88 as he slid way up the track there.
Oh, well, that was going on. It looked like Grasso was trying to get involved up front. Looks like he's going to settle for third at the moment.
Matt Forns, who is our completely 100% objective Xfinity Series admin, says, "Let's go Davey" on YouTube.
Must be one of his teammates there.
Yeah, he's allowed to have an opinion. Yeah, I
Sure.
think they both run for the same team.
I think Forns is Davey Hendrick's team owner.
Oh,
Oh, there you go.
even better. I'm watching the 60 Alan Kewins. He's kind of moving up a little bit. Looks like he's got pretty good speed out there tonight.
Yep. Ewan's not playoff eligible. He's not a playoff driver, but he can do what he can out there to try to get a good finish. And even if you're not in the playoffs, you still want to get out there and finish well and compete for a win if possible.
Yeah, he's a cup driver, so he's out there just putting laps in, trying to have some fun, I think.
Yep. Out there supporting Tim Harmon, who is, I think he's the only Angry Idiot team member that's in the playoffs right now, I believe. Looking down the list here. Yep, looks like it.
Well, he's having a good run, sitting there in third place right now,
Yep.
for sure.
Doing a great job. Well, some great side-by-side action here. We're already 17 laps into this 100-lap feature. As Flanagan starts to slow down there up on the upper line. The 88 of Rob Nickel in the wall, though, right in front of him. Flanagan having to take evasive action here. We're about 4 wide right there.
That was 85 Stephen Davis.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But, yeah, he did hit the wall pretty hard, and he recovered. Nobody else got hurt, so keep on racing. Seems like they're kind of throwing it into the corners a little hot. Maybe not lifting at the correct lifting point since the tire wear is happening right now.
You see the great momentum that Flanagan got coming off of turn 4 by staying right against that outside wall on corner exit. And he can just carry so much more speed. He's trying to do the same thing coming out of turn 2 right now. See how close he is to that wall? Look at the run he gets off of the turn. He just pulls away from the 27, breaks the draft, moves down the track. He's getting that outside line kind of rubbered in up there, getting some good practice out of it.
Ethan Flanagan over there, he's using IndyCar tactics that they'll do at the Indy 500, diving low to break the draft. I don't see that working out, or I don't see people doing that too much in stock cars, but if it works, it works.
Yeah, you'll see it at Pocono, I think, is the one that stands out in my mind, that you see that the most when drivers come off a 3 and they head all the way down to that pit wall to try to break the draft, especially in the later stages of the race.
I mean, if it's comfortable.
Rob Nickel in the
for you-
88 in the wall. Keeps it straight. Sorry about that, buddy.
No, it's just if you're comfortable riding that close to the wall, then by all means do it. But it's tough to keep that thing. You have zero room for error up there.
Takes nerves of steel, I think. Yeah, overdrive it just a little bit. There's no room for you to slide up any farther. You're just going to be up in the concrete.
And he did. He just hit the wall. Flanagan did. Not too harshly, but definitely affected some of the side of his car.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of right front damage from when he scraped that wall. That's good.
Aero is pretty important here. I don't know if, you put it on a scale of 1 to 10. I think, maintaining decent set of tires, and your grip is extremely important. I put Arrow a close number 2. It's Justin Barkley down the middle here between Wilson and Kewins, utilizing that inside line as he moves up in front of Isaac Wilson. Going down the backstretch. Warman kind of playing it safe right now, staying kind of in the middle of the track, not really pushing that right front so hard that he burns it up. That 113, he's out there just trying to take care of that right front right now.
Watching Joe Archer here in a 56 Canuck Nuggets car. He looks like he's racing real well, just kind of keeping it straight. And Michael Gervey just passed him for 16th place, but he's hanging in there, having a decent run too.
Greg Klein continues his march to the front, up 15 spots. He's got a top 5 right now. Once again, a Cup driver that started in the back, not eligible for playoffs here in Xfinity, but as we talked about before, one of those guys. Greg's one of the most competitive people I know, and he just wants to get out there and race well and try to kick some of these playoff guys' butts. That's what he's out there to do.
Joe Archer is down. I think he's our first taker on pit road. He probably got tired of those old tires.
So kind of an interesting place to pit here. If you're going to make it a 3-stopper, which we may see more people trying to do that, that's where you want to pit about lap 25 here. I don't know. I'm kind of the school of thought that try to take care of your tires and run the tank empty. Unless you see a ton of other guys coming in, I'd stay out and try to just nurse that thing along until you're out of fuel.
That's what the 2 guys up front are going to do. They're good enough to do that too.
Ooh, as we got a little bit of contact between Bob Gallinger and Michael Giverson. Michael Giverson has a little bit of right front damage from that. I believe there was a bit of netcode involved as well.
Oh,
Archer will come back out on the track a lap down. The only guy so far who's taken the opportunity to come down and pit. He pitted for 4 tires and fuel. I don't know what you guys think. I don't think this is a track we're going to have to really worry about anybody making 2-tire stops at or no tire stops. It's
you're going to need tires each time.
I don't see that ever happening here. It'd be a strange situation maybe if we have a couple of late cautions where somebody, if they wanted to stay out and not take any tires, if they were good on fuel, you might see that, but I don't know. It's
well, Gary,
very abrasive.
Do you know what the fuel run is here?
I didn't do the math, but 70% fuel. I'm not entirely sure how long that'll get you, but I'm gonna take a guess and think around 40, lap 50 or so. They'll start to come in for fuel.
Yeah, so that way they just split this thing in half. If they could pull it all the way off to 50, that'd be probably cutting it close.
It is a 2-miler. I'd be surprised if these guys stay out past 40, but I could be wrong on that.
Oh, time will tell, right? I mean,
Yeah,
we're going to be able to find out.
We're going to find out. We're all going to learn that together here in just a few minutes. As these guys are already almost to lap 30 here. What are they on? Lap 28.
Yeah, we're on lap 29 right now as the leaders
Tim,
just came across
there you
the
go.
line.
Tim Harmon who was in fourth place, is pitting. So I think we're getting close to that window. Must be if one of the leaders is going to come on down.
And you could just about split this into thirds. If you pitted around lap 33, 34, you could just about make it a two-stopper.
I think they're definitely struggling on tires. Watching Bob Gallagher there sliding up into the wall a little bit.
Connor Darnell in the 97 also pitted for 4 tires. As Harmon gets back out on the track. Yeah, you definitely don't want to speed here under green flag pit stop, because having to come back down under pit speed, which is 55 miles an hour, man, that'd be so unfortunate if you got a black flag here. But these guys doing a pretty good job so far of keeping it under the limit there.
Yeah, and Ethan Flanagan's now down here on pit road. Just slowly trickling in. This is something we don't normally see.
Yeah, usually you'll see big chunks, big packs of cars coming down. So I just heard somebody else announce.
The 113, a Warman, looks like he's coming down.
Oh, in the grass there, buddy. Hold on. It's him and Red Stick Mike Simone in the 27 pit. Here comes a few more. Davis and Giberson, teammates for GGR. Of course, Davey and Francisco, Grosso, Klein, these guys are going to stay out until everybody else comes down, I'm sure.
Well,
anticipate maybe an accident.
Davis
here they come.
out.
Good call.
So
1, 2, 3 are in.
Greg Klein is in. Barkley's in. Looks like Isaac Wilson has stayed out. Might get him a lead lap point or so there.
Barkley came in a little hot there, locking the brakes up, getting a little sideways, but looks like he was able to avoid speeding pit entry penalty there. Probably not by much. As these guys hit their boxes, we've seen everybody so far that pitted took 4 tires and fuel. As we predicted, we're not going to see any crazy shenanigans with 2 tire stops. What's your analogy there that you like to talk about, Adam? It's like a cheese grater out there.
Yeah, these old concrete tracks. I think it just tears those tires up. Looks like
really, really old pavement, kind of look like Atlanta out there almost.
Yep, Isaac Wilson's going to come on down now.
So he was able to get out there and lead a lap. Let's see. And Isaac Wilson is a playoff driver, sitting right there in the middle of the standings with 8 points after 1 race.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Every point matters, so it really is worth staying out there and leading a lap so you can get that extra point.
Sorry I had to go on mute for a second. I
We're good.
had a little bit of an emergency I had to deal with.
Well, glad you're back. 3 wide on the front stretch here. Who do we got? Right in front of Francisco. Davies involved, Stanley, and Harmon.
Ewan's busted for speeding. He'll have to come back down and serve that. Under green, which he does. Man, that's a killer penalty, man. Oh, we got wreck on the front stretch here. The 37 and the 44 got together. They're both in the grass off the track, so we're going to stay green here. Bob Gallagher with a meatball flag now. A lot of damage on the 44. And the 37 aspires. Also looks like he's going to have to come down. He's in the pits now.
That's a tough break for Spires because as we were talking about earlier, he's one of those guys who were on the bubble. He's ahead of the bubble, but that does not help his situation right now.
I said he came in the pits. I was mistaken. He was still out there on the apron, trying to avoid a unsafe pit entry by just staying out on the track on the apron, right in front of the leaders there.
Well, it looks like he just lost control of the car and turned into Gallagher had nowhere to go. So unfortunate for both of them.
No fast repairs here, so they're going to be sitting for quite some time. Looks like Isaac Wilson with the black flag. As he came into the pits, busted for speeding in the 93.
Those penalties hurt.
Man, I'm telling you, we talked about the pit entry kind of being tricky. Coming out of 4, having to make a hard left turn there. You have to kind of slow it down early. And then coming down, trying to get it down to 55 miles an hour after, being out here doing 180. Not an easy task.
Connor Darnell is
exit
coming in
there.
the pits.
Looks like Gallagher disconnected and Stephen Davis had a connection issue. Hopefully Stephen Davis will come back.
Looks like he is. I'm showing him reconnecting. Yeah, that's a shame when that happens.
Darnell is
Davis,
disconnected.
Stephen Davis is a playoff driver. Connor Darnell, yeah, disconnected, huh? The 93 with another speeding penalty, it looks like, on exit.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with it either. Screaming on the radio.
I don't know if that was speeding on exit or if did he get outside the line there on merging back onto the track. I didn't see.
But he's not happy.
Either one will get you a flag though, and he's got to come and serve another one under green. It looks like that's what happened. He crossed over the white line before he got to that blue stripe, that blue cone. I think that's what got him right there coming out of turn 2. Just came up on the track surface just a little bit. Yep, not happy about having to come back down there and just sit. Sit and serve a penalty on pit road while everybody else is green. And he's manually disconnected.
Yeah.
He's a playoff driver. You think he'd want to stay out there as long as he can.
Yeah. And he's 2 points above the cut line. And it looks like Rob Nickel got loose, sliding to the inside wall.
Well, hopefully
Big
Wilson will
hit.
come back because the implications for him being a playoff driver near the bubble, that's yeah, I understand the frustration, but gotta get back out there and stick it out. Oh, we got a car around over here. Is that on the back stretch? Yep, 88 in the inside wall there. As he comes down into the pit for a little manual damage repair, I'm sure. Once again, no fast repairs, so.
Yeah, all this is going on, and Davey and Francisco just keep trading places up front here, so.
Doing a little tango up there, aren't they?
Looks like it.
And they have a good reason to be racing for the lead as well, because whoever wins tonight, that's going to lock them into the next round of the playoffs. And
Very good point.
you'll get some bonus points as well for leading most laps. So they're fine for that tonight as well.
Everything else has kind of just spread itself apart here after those green flag pit stops. So not much happening out there on the track. Well, we got Red Stick Mike Simone and the 113 of Warman battling it out a little bit.
13 cars still on the lead lap here. Most of the guys making their pit stop around lap 31. I mean, if we do have any caution laps whatsoever, they really could split this into a 2-stop race. But so far, it doesn't look like we're going to have any cautions anytime soon. Knock on wood.
Yeah. And most of the incidents that we've had already, they've been all the way on that inside to where iRacing won't throw the yellow for those incidents.
Yep. Right, you are. Tim Harmon still sticking it out there in third place. Good ways behind our front two of Villarreal and Hendricks. Barkley up 10 spots, sitting in fourth. Greg Klein continues to hold on to fifth. So Barkley looking low on a lap car. That's the 37 Aspires. Inspires will cross them back up. Just having fun out there.
Spires stayed out there after his incident. He's going to gain some spots probably just by attrition. So good for him for sticking with it.
Yeah, currently 2 laps down, but in the grand scheme of things, he's definitely not out of it. You get a caution or two. Even just one caution if they get some wave rounds as well. He could find himself back on the lead lap. But right now, the battle for the lucky dog positions between Thomas Stanley and the 7. Oh, hang on a second. It just changed on me. Let me bring up my other deal here so I don't make a mistake here. Yeah, Tommy Stanley and the 60 of Hewins. The only 2 cars that are 1 lap down right now from the leaders. Michael Gerby in the 69 trying to stay on the lead lap.
Looks like Davey Hendricks is looking low to the inside of Francisco. They're side by side coming in turns 1 and 2. Francisco's going to get the run coming off the corner, but Davey Hendricks is going to be able to clear coming out of 2.
Great battle for the lead all night tonight. These guys have definitely not disappointed, have they?
No, they have not. I'm going to ride on board here with Francisco for a bit while he tries to chase back down Davey.
Well, that's probably a good idea. These guys are a couple of magicians on the track. Really, if they stay out of trouble, it's just going to be theirs to battle for.
The 27 looking like his wheel disconnected or something. He just made a left turn, went all the way and hit the inside wall on the backstretch. That's what it looked like. It looks like just his wheel got unplugged or something and just drifted to the left until he smacked the wall, sent the car up in the air.
And it looks like he took a tow as well.
Red Stick Mike Simone, not one of your playoff contenders here, as he is a Cup regular. Yeah, nonetheless, sure he did not want that to happen.
That was strange.
It's
Is,
very strange.
was he? Did he drop one of the crawfish and then pull the wheel again? Thing looked
Yeah.
wild.
Or he tried to rub his eye, and had that Old
Oh
Bay
yeah,
still on his hands.
that's no good.
You blind yourself driving a race car doing that. Put the crawfish down and drive.
That should be on the hood of his car. I like that motto. Tell you what's on the back of Greg Klein's car. You should probably check that out. He's kind of battling it out with Barkley. Barkley just passed him. But
Let
more
me take a
importantly,
look.
what's on the back of his car is his brother, who recently passed.
His brother RC.
Yeah, so it's a tribute to his brother and the fat guy's Toyota.
Pretty young fella, and with a cancer that spread through his body, and cancer sucks. You got that right, Greg. So, man, if you're that age, go get your screening done. Just go get it done. Don't make an excuse. Get it done. It could save your life. What do they recommend now? 50, 45, or 50, I think.
I think it's 50.
Yeah.
Unless you have some kind of predisposed
Yeah, if you've
issues.
got family history and that kind of thing too. Talk to your doctor for sure. They'll get you steered in the right direction. Just don't put it off, that's for sure.
Well, we're talking about his car. He's having a real good battle with Barkley. They just kind of keep crossing each other up. I don't know if they're just toying with each other or what's going on.
Yeah, both of them Cup drivers. I think they're just out there having fun right now.
Yeah, and it looks like Greg Klein's going to get the run coming in at turns 1 and 2, and he's going to get clear of Barkley. Barkley almost into that wall, but he's going to get a huge run down the backstretch. He's going to try to send it to the inside. If there's a door open, which there's not. And Joe Archer is coming into the pits.
Okay, well,
Pitting from about 10th position there.
yeah, I think he pitted earlier than these guys before, so that makes some sense.
A little bit different schedule. I think he's one of the guys that's kind of shooting for a 3-stop race. Pitting around lap 24. Now pitting again at lap, 52? So, yep, probably a 3-stop strategy for Chicken Man in the 56. Farmer Joe. Definitely check him out at Joe's Design Shop on Facebook. He's sponsored this entire season of Xfinity Racing for you guys. So go over there and show him a little bit of love on his Facebook page. If you got a small business or something you need a logo designed for, or iRacing car painted or something like that, just hit him up. Send him a message. He'll work with you on it. Definitely proud to have Joe's Design Shop as the title sponsor for all of the Xfinity Racing this season.
Yeah, check out the chicken page.
Got the chicken page too. That's what he's calling his fans out there. His Canuck Nuggets.
Well, he just
fans out there.
He kind of slid into the pits there. Don't know what happened, but he's all right.
Yeah, no penalty. These guys make a few more laps out here. We still got Hewins out there running a lap down. Him and Stanley fight for that lucky dog still, but I don't know if that's going to matter, man. If we keep this up and we don't get a yellow, I mean,
I'm not sure.
You're stuck there.
Davey's kind of running away right now. second and a half lead on Francisco. That's not really much, but compared to how close they have been.
Well, they got about 6 more laps or so before we anticipate them pitting. They both pitted lap 31. If the trend would continue, we'd see them pit here in another 5 laps or so.
I'm trying to see if we have any racing going on, and it looks like things are starting to spread out. Joshua Grosso is closing in on Ethan Flanagan. They're going to try to do some racing for 7th position.
Grosso started this race really strong, up in third position. Let's see. He did have a little bit. I think he took some damage. That's why his pit stop was so long. He had a 35.5-second pit stop. Likely the reason why he's having to battle back up through the field. He's sitting back in 8th now.
Yeah, Francisco came down a little different strategy. So Francisco is in the pits.
So do you think Davey will be right behind him here?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We'll find out here in just a second.
Joshua Grosso, he's reeled in Ethan Flanagan. He's going to try to dive into the inside of Ethan. We'll see if he's able to get clear coming out of turns 1 and 2, which I think he might not be able to. He's going to slide right back behind Ethan.
For a Francisco Villarreal, see him coming back out on the track, but not before getting passed by Hendricks to put him a lap down. And it sounds like Ethan Flanagan coming into the pits. I think we're going to start seeing more and more trickle down. Here comes Davey.
He's still in the pits, and that's Mike Simone, Red Stick Mike. Really had some rough damage on that car when he hit the wall.
He just hit it so hard coming from the top of the track on a 45-degree angle and just smashed the inside wall of the backstretch. So, yeah, that meatball flag's not going away anytime soon. They're having to do some major damage repair on the 27th.
Barkley came down into the pits as well, and Tim Harmon, Michael Giberson. And I think here, this time by, if not next time, we'll start to see Greg Klein and Eric Warman come down.
Klein saying he's coming down now. Full stops for all these guys so far coming down here. 4 tires and fuel as the 92 gets onto the apron there to start slowing down. Okay, check out the lead here. Hendricks coming back out on the track right in front of the 24. 24 will get the better deal here as 81's still on cold tires. But they're back side by side again. Villarreal and Hendricks.
Yeah, as they should be. Right? Why separate them? They've been this close all night.
Eric Warman will come out and lead a lap, which will help him in the playoff standings. Sitting in second place, getting an extra point for a lap led. Smart play there by the 113.
Yep, every point matters, especially come playoff time, where making the next round or getting eliminated, that 1 point could be the difference. And Yahtzee.
You really got to kick yourself if you don't take every advantage to make every point you can. Yeah, if you end up on the bubble or below the cut line there, just because you didn't go out there and get every point you could that's on the board for you. Oh, looked like Warman may have overdrove his pit box.
Oh, and Isaac Wilson came back, so he's gonna do that. He's gonna get a couple extra spots, I think. So
So
it's
I
good.
misspoke. Eric Warman did not overdrive his pit box. He nailed it. It's a kind of a deceiving angle I was looking at from.
Yeah, Tim Harmon and Barkley going at it now.
Michael
Gerville pit
Gervie
from
coming in.
third place.
Yeah, Barkley is making a pretty good run on the outside. It seems like like they tend to catch him on
Well,
on the inside, but looks like he's got this one clear.
he did just set a personal best lap time there on that last lap that he run. 41.91. Maybe doing a little searching for a line that he likes to run, maybe.
Francisco running all the way down on the apron on the front stretch, trying to save as much time as he can. Davey Hendrickson is going to get a run coming out of turns 1 and 2. He's going to go to the inside.
So the transition from the apron to the track in the tri-oval, not super aggressive, so you can jump down there. There's a couple other tracks we see that at, where you can get down there and just kind of cut the corner, get all the way down by the grass. Depending on what line you're running coming out of 4, you can go down there and hit the edge of the track there and save a little bit of time. Minuscule amount of time, but it'll add up if you know what you're doing.
Oh, they just keep clicking the laps away. There's Harmon versus Barkley. That's a pretty good battle, and looks like Villarreal and Hendricks. That's our battles right now.
2/3 of the way through this thing, those guys just fighting it out up there. So evenly matched. You know, this is a fixed setup league. Midwest Days of Thunder is a fixed setup league, which puts it all on driver talent. And these guys are just so evenly matched. It's a lot of fun to watch these guys.
Well, you're talking about just staying out there and keeping it clean. Joe Archer, that's what he's doing. He's up 8 spots from where he started and respectable 13th place right now. So kind of racing his race. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. You just keep your focus on the track.
Line continues to move up little by little. Now in a 3rd position, up 17 spots overall. One of the Cup drivers that had to start in the back. Wheelman of the 92 bringing that thing all the way up to 3rd so far.
Right now, I've been watching Tim Harmon and Justin Barkley. They've been kind of going at it. Tim Harmon has been all over Barkley's rear end. He's trying to force a mistake out of Barkley. So we'll see how well that'll work.
And Barkley not eligible for the playoffs, but Tim Harmon's right in the thick of it right now. He's in 5th position right now in the standings, playoff standings. So Harmon with everything to fight for up there. Like you said, every position counts. Get up there, try to get a jump on somebody, take a point away from your opponent. Definitely a
Hey, it's a tough one to broadcast because of all the spread out of the whole thing. But Tim Harmon now and Barkley are still kind of having some fun out there racing. Greg's out there on his own third. Villarreal is trying to catch back up to Hendricks. So
What we can't talk about is the schedule coming up, because this is the first race in the round of 16, which is 2 races each round here, as we whittle the field down, 4 drivers every 2 weeks. So round 1, the round of 16 of the playoffs, is Auto Club this week, Rockingham in the afternoon, coming to you on May the 2nd. And we'll lose the bottom 4 drivers out of the field after that. The round of 12 then will commence with Daytona Road Course, followed by 150 laps at Bristol. And finishing up the last round there, the round of 8, will be Kansas and Phoenix with the dogleg. And that'll set everything up. The final 4 are going to compete for the Midwest Davis of Thunder Xfinity Series Championship with a race at Homestead. 130 laps at Homestead, Miami. So
that'll be a fun one. Homestead's always cool. I liked when they used to end the actual series there. They've changed it now to Phoenix, but Homestead was always a fun race.
It's a great track. I mean, it's similar in some ways to this one. Not quite as large, obviously, but similar kind of banking situation. I think it's got a little bit less banking than here at Auto Club, but not quite as wide. Yeah.
I'm going to check on the schedules for the other series as well for this week. Tomorrow, starting at the same time as we did tonight, the trucks are going to be at National Fairgrounds for 125 laps. That's going to be an interesting one. That's a short track. Then the truck guys have raced around each other a lot, so we'll see how that race goes. On Thursday, the ARCA series is also going to be going to Auto Club for 45 laps. And then for Friday, Cup is also going to be going to Auto Club for 100 laps. So we'll have some racing all week here on the Midwest States of Thunder YouTube channel. And do you guys have anything going on this week as well for the other leagues you broadcast?
Yeah, we've got a couple races coming up Tuesday and Wednesday. We've got HCK Beagles Racing League on Tuesday night, and on Wednesday night, the Vigilante Racing League. You can check for updates on that over at the MDOT.TV Facebook page.
Yeah,
we'll do a little hype promo the day of the race. That way, you know when and where and what to expect. Kind of try to do a little preview action there. Tim Harmon in the 73 is down on pit road once again for his second stop. Well, Gary, fewer and fewer cars on the lead lap now. There's going to be, if this trend continues, we're only going to have 5 or so cars on the lead lap at the end of this deal.
And that just goes to show how good Davey Hendrickson and Francisco Villarreal are at this kind of racing. Right now, I believe they're the fastest guys in the league, but they're going to have some competition next season once a lot of the ARCA guys move up. It's going to be pretty stacked in the Xfinity Series here next season.
Josh Grosso with a very similar lap time. Him and Harmon both putting in some low 41.5s. Very fast in their own right. Grosso kind of been digging out of that hole that he was in earlier, now up to 6th place. Very impressive run out of the 23. Justin Barkley in
Grosso,
the 9s down pit road.
Grosso is also one of those guys who he's good anywhere you go. Because Midwest Days of Thunder, we had our endurance race for money here last Saturday. Him and Angel Hernandez, they won in the LMP2 class, and the second car was 5 laps down. So those guys are good on road courses and ovals.
That is a pretty big differential. As Barkley comes out, it looks like he had a 2-tire stop for the 9.
Ooh, a little gambling here, I'm saying.
Him and Harmon looks like they took 2.
They might be, or Barkley might be trying to do some research to see how 2 tires work here for the Cup race on Friday, because we're going the same distance.
That's right.
So he might be practicing some pit strategy.
Good call. So Kewins finds himself in a battle with Eric Warman right now. Kewins, of course, a lap down to him. But that Buffalo Trace machine goes slow and goes around Warman. Warman there in 4th position. A good ways off the top 3 drivers. Hendricks, Villarreal, and Klein.
Thomas Stanley is trying to hold off Davey Hendrickson right now to stay on the lead lap, but Davey Hendrickson is just going to go right by him on the outside.
Klein coming in for his 3rd stop.
To not go another lap down.
So Klein in the pits now. Francisco Villarreal is coming down. Klein with 2 tires, and he's out. Let's see if Francisco takes 4 tires here. I'm curious to see if he's going to follow suit with some of these guys. Hendricks calling out on the radio that he's pitting this time. That's a long pit road to have to come down at 55 miles an hour.
That it is, and I'm watching Francisco right now to see if he takes 2, and he does. The jack only went up on the right side that I saw, so he's trying a little pit strategy as well. We'll see what Davey Hendricks does.
That's about the 5th car we've seen on this cycle taking 2 tires. Let's see what Ethan Flanagan does here. He's now in his box.
Flanagan's going to take 4 tires, it looks like.
Yeah, full service for the 57.
Same with Davey.
Davey's going to take 4 tires. Okay, so he'll have a grip advantage over Francisco Villarreal, but the extra 5 seconds it took him to get that service done is going to have to overcome that.
We'll see what Joshua Grosso is going to do.
Grosso, of course, trying to work his way up and get a decent finish after falling so far back early on in the race. He'll take 4 tires of fuel.
Yep. Final money stop here, it sounds like.
Francisco came out ahead of Davey with about a second and 1.2 seconds of a lead. We'll see if Davey's able to close that off.
Now that he's got 4 fresh Goodyears, with less than 20 laps to go, I think Davey's going to be in his happy place here.
I think he's always happy when he's running up front there.
Did Warman come into the pits yet?
He has not. He has only pitted twice. His last pit was at lap 61. So the GGR driver of the 113. We should see him here before too long.
Yeah, but we're definitely going to see him.
Yellow, probably.
Yeah, that could be his gamble. Might as well.
I mean, if you're that high in the standings and you're not worried about being on the bubble or anything for next week, I mean, why not come out and try something a little different? And here he comes. I guess he's had enough. On to pit road goes the 113 of Warren.
Davey is gaining fast on Francisco right now. I'm going to ride on board with him while he chases Francisco. Davey Hendrickson with the fastest time of the race that time. A 41.48 second lap.
Smoking lap there for Davey on the 81. Catching up little by little. 4 fresh tires is going to do it.
Tell you what, Harmon and Barkley and Klein all having a battle right there, 4, 5, and 6.
That's all 4 position too. Klein in the lone Toyota there, fighting a couple Chevrolets. It's weird because the 92 and the 73 are teammates, but they're running different makes.
Free for all here.
92 sticking to that low line. Looks like he's making a little bit of ground. He's around Barkley now. Now he's up here with Harmon. Harmon, of course, racing for a championship. Klein, a cup regular. Just down here to be competitive and hopefully pick up a win.
He's
taking
Davey.
a point away from his teammate there, though.
Yeah,
Here comes Davey. He brought that gap down to a 5/10 of a second gap.
Yahtzee, that's what you call playing Yahtzee with your tire strategy there. He's making it work for him.
And he's all over Francisco's bumper. He's going to go to the inside coming down the front stretch. We'll see if I believe he should be able to get clear here after turns 1 and 2. Francisco was trying to lead a few more laps to see if he could get that most laps led, but I don't think he led enough, as Davey Hendrickson is going to get by Francisco.
yeah, clean pass. I've been doing it all night. I don't think the 24 is giving up just yet, though.
I'm going to go back to this battle between Barkley and Tim Harmon. Right now, they're racing pretty good as well. Tim Harmon's trying to see if he can gain some time on Barkley.
Well, they kind of stretched themselves out there. Looks like Harmon's kind of just hanging right there behind Barkley, and Barkley's doing the same with Klein.
Back out front, Francisco is staying within Davey Hendrick's draft. We'll see how long he's able to do that. But I think Francisco's regretting taking those 2 tires right now. 4 tires definitely seems to have been the play on this last pit stop.
Yeah, that was definitely a gamble.
Also trying to fight Michael Gervey here in the 69. Not for position, but 32 of Giberson's finally in for his third stop.
Well, looks like Warman's trying to make a move on Grosso. We'll see if we can get anything done here.
And Warman's making a move. Yeah, he's making a move on Grosso to the inside. He's going to have that run coming in turns 3 and 4. We'll see if he's able to slide up, which I believe he's going to.
He is clear, but you saw the run the 23 got from running a little bit higher line now as he'll cross him over, coming through the tri-oval. Line matters so much here. As you see now, the 23 on the inside, and Warman utilizing the outside line to get a good run here.
Grosso is hanging on, though.
Yeah,
he's within distance.
Doing everything he can. Stick with him here. That is for position, and these are both playoff drivers. Pretty close together in the points too. Only 2 points separate them. As this is the first race in the round of 16. So next week, at the end of next week's race, I should say, we already know 3 of the drivers who are not going to advance to the round of 12, and that's Thomas Girth, Blake Bingham, and Bobby Blazer. Didn't meet minimum race participation requirements, so they'll be ineligible for playoff advancement. But still, you know, a pretty good effort on their part to make the playoffs.
And just got some word from Matt Forns that points will be reset. I'm not sure if he means after this race or after this round the points will be reset.
Oh, that is interesting. So the guys fight for that bottom spot right now to advance. You know, Michael Gervey sitting right below the cut line coming into tonight. Rob Nickel in the 88 and Stephen Davis all there together. The bottom 3 drivers that are going to be fighting to stay above that cut line after next week's race. Next week, of course, Rockingham. So quite a bit different animal than this week's race. And then the next round that we already covered, you know, you got a road course and a short track. So the schedule here is really, really, really diverse, really cool. So
okay, they were reset going into this race, and they will reset after each round for the points, is what Matt Fornes is telling us here on YouTube.
Okay, cool. Good information there.
Yeah, Rockingham will be quite a bit different than here. So,
Oh, 100%.
we may see some anger in Rockingham.
Fingers crossed.
I'm hoping. We hadn't had much anger except for, you know, self-anger on some of these guys tonight.
And I believe Rockingham, a few of these guys are trying to see if they can make it a throwback race. So we'll see some throwback paint schemes at Rockingham, which is going to be pretty fun.
Yeah, I like the old throwbacks. Why don't we just get out there in the old 87s and throw it all the way back?
Oh, I'm down for that.
Oh, I'd
Same.
love to run A7s at pretty much anywhere, but I'd love to run A7s at Talladega. I run that all the time.
Do it. You ever do any of that flip over backwards action?
No, but I've seen people do it.
This car's been a handful. Like Davey, if he's just gaining so much ground,
Well,
there's not much that could stop him now.
no. It really, you know, being this much, having so much more grip than Francisco, he can afford just to watch his relative screen there and keep that gap consistent. Don't make any mistakes. And Davey should have it in the bag. I mean, he's got 2 seconds on Francisco right now. But anything can happen. We could see this thing stack back up with a late caution. But they're quickly running out of time as there's only a couple of laps here to go.
Davey Hendrickson is about to lap Michael Gervey. We'll see if he does any team play for Francisco as their teammates in the XJ series, which Michael Gervey's going to let him by,
Good call.
being courteous.
Yeah, that kind of would have been pretty obvious, huh? Not trying to get a penalty or anything here.
Man, I'll tell you what, if you stayed on the lead lap here, you worked your tail off. This has been kind of a rough one to manage, I think, as a driver.
Yeah, just you don't get a chance to decompress. You don't get a chance to catch your breath. You know, there's no caution. So these guys are having to keep that same level of concentration throughout this race, and at the same time make sure that you're sticking with your strategy and stuff that you committed to.
White flag in the air for Davey Hendricks coming across the line. And he's pretty much home free. All he's got to do is really baby the car and not make any mistakes.
Yeah, with 2.5 seconds on Francisco Villarreal, yeah, he's just on cruise control out there. Francisco, it's starting to set into him right now that, you know, it was all about the tire strategy here. He just didn't. Hindsight's 2020. You know, you can't just kick yourself about it, but I guarantee you he'll be thinking about it.
Davey Hendricks coming across the line. He's going to be your first winner here in the round 16 of the playoffs at Auto Club.
Francisco picking up a second. As they come around, there's quite a bit of distance between second and third place. Looks like Greg Klein will hold on as he crosses the line, picking up third spot.
Hard Charger award for him as well, up 17.
His teammate Tim Harmon right there behind him. Well, the 85 just got smashed from behind and spun out there. Warman and Grosco will come across right behind Barkley. But yeah, I don't think there's any doubt who we would see near the front here. Once again, great finish out of Tim Harmon, who's competing for a championship here. And Barkley looked like they had a lot of fun out there fighting.
Davey Hendricks is going to lock himself into the round of 12 here for the next round of the playoffs with that win. As he's doing his victory burnouts.
Well, guys, what do you say we get interviews underway with our third place driver of Greg Klein?
Let's do it.
Hey, Greg, it's the guys up in the booth. You got us? Hey, Greg, it's the guys up in the broadcast booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you. What's going on, guys?
Hey, not much, man. Great, solid finish out there. Of course, you're a Cup driver and not eligible for the playoffs here in Xfinity Series, but as we talked about, you're a pretty competitive guy and just come out here to have fun and race and maybe do a little bit of research, huh?
Yeah, man, I really want to say thanks to the admins for letting us run because for a while there we weren't going to be able to. And this is one of my favorite tracks, and Xfinity is one of my favorite cars, just because they're a little more difficult to drive. And man, this is a great combination. It was a ton of fun tonight.
Well, what was it like? Because there was no cautions, so you really had to stay with your strategy and kind of let the field come to you. And I don't know what you thought, but I thought the top guys, y'all did a great job trying to manage those cars. I know that was tough.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Of course, I was racing Barkley a lot there, and we had a lot of back and forth, and that was a ton of fun. Um, Other than that, just stay with the strategy. 2 tires, I think, probably got me a little bit of time and really didn't hurt the handling. So I think that made a big difference. Other than that, I mean, it was a fun race. I enjoyed myself tonight.
Well, great deal, man. We'll look forward to seeing you race on Friday. You got any shout outs or anything you want to get out there before we let you go?
No, usual shout out tonight. Appreciate you guys for putting on the broadcast, the admins, league owner, all that stuff for what they do here. This is a pretty great league to run in. I'm having a lot of fun. And of course, as always, shout out to my little brother. We're having a celebration for him this Saturday, so it's going to be a lot of fun. No tears, just a lot of stories and having a good time, just the way he'd want it.
That's a good deal, man. We did show your tribute on your back panel, on your back bumper panel today,
and that classic picture of him.
Oh yeah, he seemed like he was. I'm sure he was a blast to hang around.
Oh yeah, he was the life of the party always.
Well, good deal, man. We'll let you go and we'll holler at you later.
All right, appreciate it, guys.
You bet. All right, fellas, we got our second place guy ready to come up. Francisco Villarreal, how you doing, there, brother? You got us up here in the broadcast booth?
Yep, got you loud and clear.
Man, talk about an epic battle out there between you and the 81. It just came down to those 2 tires, and is that kind of it was what was going through your mind there as you saw the lap start to tick down and you saw the 81 coming up in your rearview mirror?
I figured. With 4 tires, I was good on the short run, mid run, and then long run. He would just get around me and drive off. So my plan was, let me try and get 2 tires, a little bit of fuel to make it, and see if I could have the gap and kind of hold on to it. But it wasn't enough. And then knowing that I think third place was like 18 seconds back, the risk reward wasn't that bad. It was either if it worked, I was going to win the race, and if it didn't work, well, I was still going to finish second. So it mostly just came down to consistency and trying to hit the marks. 2 tires did feel all right, but the 4 tires I think would have been the better choice. Would I have won the race? Probably not. I just think it would have been a little bit closer.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was fun watching y'all battle all night. How was it fun? Kind of racing with them. Y'all raced from the jump all the way through. Pretty much, it was the Francisco and Davey show. It looked like a lot of fun out there.
Yeah, it was fun. I just wish that outside group could work a little bit better. Just seemed like the car was too tight for me, and I would just drift up into the wall. So I know the trucks, that high line, you can make it work, but with these Xfinity cars, still trying to figure them out, some of these tracks. So it was a fun battle. It's just either you're gonna get around them or you're gonna burn yourself up trying to. And once you do, they're just gonna drive right back around you.
Well, talk about next week. Getting your mind set and everything ready to go for Rockingham, because that's going to be a completely different animal next week.
Oh yeah, that track I'm just gonna. I mean, that's the end of the first round, and I think I'm pretty okay where I'm at right now in points. So I think I'm just gonna play it safe and just try and finish the race, be there at the end.
Well,
Awesome deal, man.
good job, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, and on to our leader. And that would be Mr. Davey Hendrickson, the 81. How you doing, Davey?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Great win out there tonight. It was a lot of fun watching you guys battle up front. It really was. Watching like two guys out there doing the tango for a good portion of the race. Francisco was convinced that if he would have got 4 tires same as you on that last stop, he's pretty sure he wouldn't have been able to catch you anyway. So I think he was just kind of trying to manage that gap. And the 2 tires and a splash of fuel. He thought he might have something for you there, but it just didn't work out. Talk about it from your perspective.
He is brave as hell for getting 2 tires. I was like, I thought about it. Me and Mike were talking, and he mentioned your left sides haven't done that much. And I'm like, I don't know. I was worried that I was going to get too loose on the old tire on the left hand side and just wind up spinning. So I went with the safe bet, full tank, 4 tires. And he was Francisco was like a second and a half ahead of me when I eventually got past Ethan. So I was sweating. I had no idea he only took 2. But like I said, he's a brave soul. I couldn't have done it. I think I'd have wound up spinning myself.
Well, I think his whole point of view from it was he knew he had a really big gap back to third, and he said, "Well, if I don't try something different, I'm not going to be able to beat Davey. If I even if I do and make the wrong decision." He was pretty confident he was still going to be able to stay out in front of Klein because the gap was like 18 seconds, I think he said.
Yeah, I don't think I ever got far ahead of Francisco. When you say we were doing the tango, we really were. I went inside, he went inside. We took different lanes in and out of corners. It was great. It was really fun to race in the car. I can't wait to go back and watch it from y'all's perspective.
Yeah, it was. Y'all kind of spread out. The rest of the field did for the most part, but watching y'all two, it was a fun battle all night. Of course, you came out on top. That means you won. You're into the next round. So, what do you think about next week? What are you going to do there at Rockingham?
Honestly, I think I'm in the final 4.
Is that where you?
I think so. Me and because I asked Forns about it earlier because I recalled reading it, and I'm pretty sure that if you win a race, you get straight to the final race. But we were I asked him, I'm like, well, there's 6 races, so say 6 people win. Are you going to put 6 people into that final race? And I don't know. I guess we'll figure that out. But regardless, I'm in the next round. That makes me happy. So next week, it's Rockingham. I'm pretty sure it's throwback week, so I get to go and enjoy it and not have to worry about sweating because I know. When I ran for that ARCA title a couple of years ago, I didn't make the Final 4 until the race before the Final 4. I had gotten wrecked out and everything and had terrible luck. So it's kind of nice to get to this point to where I know I'm at least into the next round without having to sweat too much.
Yeah, it's kind of a big weight off your shoulders and everything. And congrats so much on the win, Davey. And it was definitely well earned. You got any shout outs you want to get out there before we let you go?
I got to thank everyone who puts us on, all the admins and everything, all the drivers that showed up. I think it's awesome. We ran all green flags. I don't think we had any yellow, so that was kind of nice. Everyone on my team, Forns, Mike, everyone that keeps me calm and helps me decide on what to do during the race. The High Banks podcast for letting me put them on the car. I run them in a couple of leagues now, and they're a good group of guys. You guys up in the booth and. Thank everyone watching. That's about it.
Awesome, man. Well, congrats once again on the win, and we'll see you next week.
See y'all.
Ooh, man, I tell you what, it was either feast or famine out there. We had some really close action, and then, it was single file for a long ways, and then you'd have a little bit more action, and then single file a long ways. But we got through it. We stayed green, so we clicked it off a little bit faster than usual tonight.
Yeah, thank God. That was definitely a marathon, and you got to hand it to those guys that stayed out there on the track and finished that thing up because that was pretty tough. Some tough racing there, and especially when those top two guys were just kind of blowing everybody out of the water. So,
Well, what'd you
well,
think about it, Gary? Did it fit your expectations?
Yeah, I was hoping that we were gonna go green and checkered. That was a really long race, and it was fun putting on the broadcast. And yeah, I was really expecting all. That's pretty much all I was expecting was side by side racing, for a lot of it, at least the start. And yeah, it was just an overall good, clean race.
Well, let's go down through this finishing order for the Joe's Design Shop Auto Club race here in the Xfinity Series. Your winner tonight, the 81 of Davey Hendrickson, starting on the outside in row one, is your race winner tonight. Francisco Villarreal, who was your pole sitter, finishes in second place after that really, really brave move of trying to do something different. Just desperation, trying to do something to give Davey a run for his money up front, but not quite getting there. And Greg Klein, your hard charger of the day, started way back in 20th because he is a Cup driver, racing the Xfinity Series, so they had to start in the back because of playoff rules. Finishes in third. Solid finish for Greg Klein in the 92. Tim Harmon, his teammate. Solid finish for Tim, finishing up here in fourth. He is a playoff contender, so that's going to do a lot for him. Barkley, one of our Cup drivers racing tonight, finishes out your top five. The 113 of Eric Warman, finishing right about where he started right there. He started in fifth, finished in sixth. Joshua Grosso and the 23 started up in second row. A little bit of difficulty early on, but able to fight his way back up the leaderboard to finish in seventh place. Only 7 cars on the lead lap here at the finish. Ethan Flanagan in the 57, your only car 1 lap down, but up from 19th place. He was up 11 spots tonight, so great run by Ethan. The 69 of Michael Gervey, 2 laps down, finished in ninth, along with Thomas Stanley in the 7, also finished 2 laps down in 10th place.
then you have the Angry Idiot, the 60 of Alan Kewins in 11th position, 32 of Michael Giberson in 12th, 56 of Joe Archer, the Chicken Man from Canada right there, ended up 13th. Pretty good run. 37 of Matthew Spires, 14th. 85 of Stephen Davis, ended up 15th. The 93 of Isaac Wilson came back, got a couple spots back, 16th place. 27 of Red Stick Mike Simone, 17th. 88 of Rob Nickel, had a rough one there, ended up in 18th. 97 of Connor Darnell, 19th. And to finish it out there in 20th place, 44 of Bob Gallagher.
And of course, Matt Forns being shown on the leaderboard there, but he is our main Xfinity Series admin. So we want to thank Matt for all the hard work he puts in, not just officiating the races, but putting together the schedule, being a part of the rules committee and everything that decides how these Midwest Days of Thunder leagues are run. And they do a great job along with the other admins as well. We don't want to leave anybody out there, but yeah, man, interesting race tonight. Man, you talk about a long distance run out there, 200 miles, but it's a fast track, and when it goes green like this, it clicks off pretty quick.
Yep. On to the next one.
Well, we want to thank all of you out there for joining us out there in YouTube land, making all the comments and stuff. Y'all are the reason why we do this, and we're glad that we could come here a couple times a week and put on a show for you guys. I know that a lot of the drivers like to go back and watch it, so we appreciate all the viewership. And we want to thank once again Joe's Design Shop for sponsoring all of the Xfinity action this season. It's still not over with. Got a couple more rounds of playoffs to go, so definitely hit up Joe Archer at Joe's Design Shop over there on Facebook if you need some graphic design stuff done. Also check out Farmer Joe's Chickens on YouTube and Facebook. A lot of cool information out there for burgeoning farmers. So for myself, Alan English, and Gary Sack, and Adam Turner, we gone.